Cool. All right, we are hopefully live. It's kind of difficult to see whether everything is working fine because I'm not super used to this, and because YouTube is a little bit janky on the kind of back end. But yeah, thanks to everyone for showing up early. 74 of you already, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, hi everyone, and thanks for stopping by. I realized, thanks to whoever commented first, Adam, that obviously this coincides with a lot of the E3 stuff, which I haven't been paying attention to as much as I should have been. So yeah, thanks for doing that, for popping on at the same time as the E3 stuff. I don't really know what's supposed to be announced or anything like that, but oh, I'm muted apparently. Ah, that's fine. How do I fix that? There's no reason why that shouldn't be working. So, oh, not muted. Okay, fine. I was like, am I actually going insane? Like, I literally tested this 2 hours ago. Some people can hear and some people can't. That's strange. Okay, well, at least some people can hear me. That's fine. All right. Cool. So, what can we talk about? Oh, single channel. So yeah, maybe some people who are using like stereo headphones or something, or yeah, or maybe this is coming out stereo. I don't know. Oh, okay, right, yeah, single channel. Yeah, so maybe I need to mess around with something. You can tell my lack of live stream experience. Do I have a mono mixed down? Yeah, let me just. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix everything down to mono. So hopefully that is fine now. So hopefully I'm coming out of both ears if everyone's got dual channel headphones. Cool. So we did a little Instagram vote, I suppose. I only gave two options because that is the binary nature of Instagram votes for you. But good, everything is fixed. Nice, thank you, everyone. Yeah, so what we were going to look at as a kind of vague schedule, I suppose, is some new releases, things that have come out recently. So I've got a couple of little examples and stuff that we can go through. And I'm going to start off with some new things that we can talk about that maybe a lot of people are not super familiar with. So I'm going to open this up real quick and hopefully... There we go, right. So if I swap this over now, you guys will be able to see... yeah, there we go. Hopefully that works. Hey Danio, how are you doing? From the Philippines. That's a long way for sure. So thank you for tuning in across the seas. And hey Alexander. Cool. Glad you found some cool cargoes. Yeah. I don't know if you're allowed to post links in YouTube chat by default or if they get like auto deleted. I feel like they might do. But if you are allowed, then please do that. I'm sure there is some kind of setting where I can allow that, but I haven't done anything in particular. So apologies if that doesn't work. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of go through this because I feel like it's something that a lot of people maybe haven't seen yet. It's called November Lab. So the interesting backstory with this brand is if you've searched Techwear before, so let's literally search Techwear, you might have seen, oh, hang on, we don't want to be on techwearclub.com, ignore that. All right, so if we go to images, you probably will have seen this, right? This picture. This picture is by a guy called Keith Teo, and this thing has like circled the web like a billion times, and this is like the Techwear picture that people always post. People being like, yeah, I've just found out about Techwear, like what is this? And they'll always show this picture because, you know, it's, I don't know, very kind of evocative of the kind of classic style. Anyway, a lot of people like don't know who this guy is because obviously it's been shared like a billion times by this point. But Keith Teo is the guy. And this guy has now set up his own brand, and it's called November Lab. And it was in development for like a year and a half or something like that. But these things are finally available. And yeah, so the prices on some of this stuff is quite high, but It is quite cool. So I wanted to kind of show it and talk about it a little bit. I am noticing you, Vasco. Um, yeah, so they've got some kind of interesting stuff. Yeah, Tej has clearly seen it before. Um, kind of what's the word? Like cohesive design language. Um, yeah, a lot of the things designed to all kind of be worn together. So you'll see, for example, you've got this parka here, and you've got the main zip here that kind of goes off to the side, and then the balaclava is kind of the same. So it's got this like, yeah, the zip off to the side, it kind of follows on from the parka. So it's got that real kind of, you wear everything together, it's real kind of techwear uniformy type stuff. And obviously, attention paid to fabrics and stuff. Stot's Etterproof used in a lot of these pieces. Polartec Neo Shell is the balaclava. And yeah, I think, you know, there's definitely some kind of acronym inspiration and that kind of thing going on. It's definitely designed to be a bit of an accompaniment to brands like that. And you can see like a lot of features are things that you perhaps will have seen on acronym products or other kinds of similar brands or designed to kind of work with them in some way. So yeah, I thought this was a pretty interesting brand, and it's quite cool. And there's a lot of different features and cool things to kind of talk about and to show. So yeah, personally, I think the balaclava is super cool, and it's quite different to anything that I've got. So if I was going to get something from this, it would probably be the balaclava, but I actually quite like all of the pieces. Oh, Bryce says that he's got the pants. Nice. Glad that you like them. And Jackal copping the ACG Alpine. Excellent pickup. Did you get the... Well, yeah, which one did you get? Did you get one of the old ones, the black and the green one, or one of the newer ones? I only have the black one, personally. But, yeah, would I get another? I don't know, maybe. The newer ones are a lot cheaper, which is quite good. So, you know, you're getting a lot of stuff for your money. Yeah, they are definitely a little bit like the Shadow Project converts with the little vertical zips there. The implementation is a bit different because these don't like do any converting as such. But yeah, so they will definitely be this whole kind of collection is definitely going to be up people's streets if you like this kind of style, you like acronym, all that kind of thing. Okay, cool. The stucco green one, nice. I'm a fan of that one. I quite like all of them, to be honest. I think they all have a little something going for them. Tej got the yellow and the black one. Yeah, I think they're pretty versatile. There's a lot you can do with them for sure. Nice. Got the Bamba twos. Yeah, the having big feet and trying to wear Bambas is a big problem for sure. I spent a long time looking for Bamba 5s because I'm a US 12. So in fact they are. Yeah. Maybe like 6 months or something of just like browsing different websites, hoping that they had these in stock in my size. Hang on, I can probably make this back to full screen now. Full screen. Yeah. Long time trying to find these, and then they ended up not kind of being super expensive. I think they were even on sale. So yeah, worth waiting for, but it is difficult for big feet lads, that's for sure. Oh, Uniden's got them as well. Yeah, they have been expanding the stuff that they carry in a big way. So, in fact, since you've mentioned them, let's have a look at their website these days. The first result when you put in Uniden has nothing to do with what we are talking about. All right, here we go. Uniden online. All right, let's bring this back up. Yeah, Matthew Taylor with the UK 11s as well. It's most brands are actually okay, like especially Nike and stuff. You will always find things in UK 11, but as soon as you get to these like slightly more niche brands, yeah, makes it a lot more difficult. Centimeter measurements, that's a good question. Does it say on the box? I don't think it does. I would imagine that US 12, which is the size I've got, they're probably either 29.5 centimeters or 30 centimeters. I think. But I will have to check that. And I don't have... Do I have a tape measure? No, I do not. Sadly. Yeah, anyway, Uniden. they kind of started out as a bit of a like they just kind of drop ship the same brands as all the other people, but they are definitely doing things a little bit differently. They're carrying more brands now, and I think paying more attention to what they're actually stocking, which is quite cool. So and they've even got some kind of exclusive bits as well. So they're pretty famous for the Stephen Cargo's controversial item because they're a bit of a, I don't know, to be unkind, a bit of a like noob trap, I suppose, in that they look pretty cool. They do a lot of things that people kind of want from them. So yeah, you end up seeing them a lot on the Techwear clothing subreddit and places like that. But my understanding is that they kind of suffer the same thing that a lot of other things like this suffer, which is that they have really poor breathability and they're just not very comfortable to wear. But there is a new version of them. They're these the 2.0 version, which are now they've come out quite recently, and they're a bit of a kind of like a collab almost in that. Well, I think it says it on the product page, but they said that like they worked with the Rain Delusion to them. Yeah, the 042 Cargo 2.0 collaborative response between Rain Delusion and Uniden. So yeah, this basically like the way that they've described this is because a load of people said that the Stephen Cargos are not very good because they have no breathability. We made some different ones, some new ones, which do have a better level of breathability, and I think there's been a few other upgrades and changes and stuff like that as well to make them a bit better. Yeah, I mean, I haven't bought these. I don't really know much about them, so I can't comment too much. But once we're getting to this kind of price, this starts getting quite expensive, right? To the point that you could be buying. I don't know. There's like CP Company or like maybe even Stone Island on sale or something like that. Once you get to this kind of price range, so it feels like it starts getting a little bit of a tough ask because like Rain Delusion and other brands like this, their success is due to the low prices, and then this is starting to get into pretty high price territory. And the Fidlog buckles, that's definitely a bit of a like everyone loves Fidlog buckles, so we just kind of put them on this. Like I'm not really sure of the benefit of having them there. You can't even see them that much, right? It's not like they're a really cool like aesthetic feature. Maybe you'd be better off like sticking them there if you're going to put them anywhere. Tion Anima says, have we checked out any of the 4Dimension stuff or Goopy Made? We've definitely had a look at Goopy Made before. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's check out some of their recent stuff. So in fact, this also can kind of bring up a point that I was going to make during this stream, or a point, or something that I was going to show. You know what I'm saying? This website here, this is a UK retailer called This Thing of Ours. They have a physical shop in Manchester, which I've never been to. But they carry a whole bunch of really cool brands. Goopy Made is one of them, and there's quite a few brands that these guys do where there are very few other places in the UK or even in Europe which you can you can actually get a hold of this stuff. Goopy Made is a Taiwanese brand. A lot of the retailers are Taiwan. A lot of the retailers are Taiwanese. A lot of the stockists for stuff like Goopy Made are Taiwan or Asia based, so it's a little bit tougher to get them. But This Thing of Ours, very cool website, bringing these kinds of products over to the UK and Europe and stuff like that. So they've got a couple of new things, a lot of different shorts. And Goopy Made is in Taiwan. It's kind of hyped at the moment, so it's a little bit difficult to pick up some of the stuff. But luckily, This Thing of Ours seems to have some decent stock. Goopy Made, very oversized silhouettes. There's quite a few different things that they've got as well. I'm just trying to find something specific. I think it's the bags at the top. Here we go. So they've got these kind of interesting recent bags as well that have come out, and the kind of deal with these is that you can wear them like a billion different ways. I know that it looks a bit strange in that picture there, but we've got some examples here. You can kind of see it's like you can make it a crossbody bag. You can make it like these little front pouch things. All kinds of different things that you can do with these. So quite a cool brand, and they've got some interesting stuff. And the prices, they're okay. 150 quid for like multi-function bag. It's obviously it's not cheap, but not kind of crazy money either. Oh man, that sucks about the Steven cargos taking measurements and then they end up way too small. Yeah, that's not something that happens infrequently. I kind of feel like, yeah, when you're buying from these like random retailers, measurements can be a little bit tricky, that's for sure. And we've actually got a video, it's going to be next week, I think, all about Techwear, dropshippers, and one in particular. And I bought some absolutely terrible stuff, the worst things that we have ever seen on this channel. So that would be quite fun to take a look at. So yeah, you can look forward to that one. It's actually sitting down here, and I won't show it. I won't show it on this stream yet, but yeah, it really is some hot garbage. So if you've ever been looking at some of these Techwear dropshippers and you've been thinking like, oh damn, like these guys look pretty cool, maybe I should step up and order from them, please do not do that. Don't do that. Yeah, I did see actually that Aga City Gang did a little Goopy Made video. I think he bought a pair of pants and an overshirt, and they looked pretty cool on him. So yeah, it could be an interesting brand for sure. I'm not sure if things like the pants for me, because I'm pretty tall, I'm like 6'2". I don't know if they will be too short for me and they will look a bit weird. But yeah, maybe some of the other things could work quite well, like some of the shirts and stuff. I feel like I've got a regular sized torso and quite long legs. So yeah, maybe some of these things could be more up my street. But yeah, loads of cool things. We can take more of a detailed look at this this website actually. Let me just scroll through some recent stuff. Kevin, yeah, Riot Division stuff from Uniden, too small unfortunately, but yeah, that's good that you were able to swap them, because some of the like actual drop shippers and the kind of dodgy retailers, as we will find out next week, once you've received your stuff, very difficult to get refunds, returns, size swaps, anything like that. Which really sucks. So it's good to hear that Uniden were actually able to switch that stuff out. So yeah, I would recommend them over, you know, the various other, like, well, I say other dropshippers as if Uniden is one. Uniden isn't a dropshipper, but I would recommend them over dropshippers and stuff like that. Yeah, hey Rui, how are you going? For those who don't know, Rui also makes some cool Techwear videos. He did a recent one on the 3A5. Which yeah, was pretty cool. A very in-depth video, showed off a bunch of different kind of features and stuff. Some things that I didn't know about the 3A5 as well before watching that video. So yeah, that was cool, and I would definitely recommend checking that out. Yeah, functionality with those multi-way bags, pretty questionable. I guess the functionality is mostly in that you can wear it in different ways, like the fact that you can wear it as a backpack if you want to, you can wear it as a side bag if you want to. But yeah, are all of those individual little pockets going to be incredibly useful? Maybe not so much, to be honest. And yeah, dropshippers potentially do charge a lot for shipping. I've actually found the other thing that they will do as well is they will give you like free shipping, or the products will be quite expensive, but then you get free shipping and you get a discount code, and the things that you're buying are on sale and things like that, because they want to try and make it as attractive as possible, right? Just so that you will like check out and get things out the door. And often shipping charges are one of those things that kind of make people and ah about their purchases. Like there are enough memes about people, you know, like £500 jacket, like SpongeBob getting the wallet out, and then £5 delivery, SpongeBob putting the wallet away again. That's definitely a thing. Should you buy the Volt Parker Jackal? I mean, it's a little bit. Where was it? I did see it. It was on the front page. It's maybe a little bit much. I mean, look at this. Look at this bad boy. I mean, I say it's a bit over the top, as if like I wouldn't buy a Volt J1 if I had the chance. Yeah, it's still kind of expensive. $260 for Rain Delusion stuff. I feel like the price of their thing is getting more expensive, but you know, it's not the worst looking thing in the world. I guess you would just have to be careful that you don't buy one too small, because that seems to be the main thing that people suffer from. Yeah, it looks okay for. I probably wouldn't wear it as snowboarding, to be honest. It probably need like a better material for stuff like that. But yeah. Yeah, Gore-Tex bucket hat that comes with a free jacket. The story behind that, the reason why, you can buy the new acronym. So the thing that we're talking about, I'll put it on the screen, is the acronym J1. Is it just the PL or GtPL? GtPL. It is. Let's get up a little picture. Yeah, this one here is this going to load a nice big picture for us. In fact, let me make this bigger so we can all see what's going on. Oh no, that is not correct. Technical difficulties. Is this going to work now? Hey, there we go. Right, so yeah, Packlite Gore-Tex J1 came out this season. And yeah, interesting thing about this, no hood. Seems weird, right? But that is because they are also doing, there it is, it's attached to the bottom there. You get a Gore-Tex bucket hat alongside the jacket itself. Reason for that is because, well, the reason why you can only buy a hat with a jacket and not by itself is apparently there are some quite stringent regulations about gore and accessories and things like that. It might be to do with branding and stuff like that as well. So that meant that Acronym were not granted the license, effectively, to make Gore-Tex accessories. So the only way that they could do it is by selling a jacket that happened to have a hat built in. So that is the reason why, if you want an Acronym Gore-Tex hat, the only way you can do it is by dropping 1,500 euros on a jacket as well. Have I heard of Hanoi Riot, says Taps. No, I have not heard of Hanoi Riot. But we can definitely have a look at them. Yeah, J28 bucket hat hood is probably nicer than this one. I'm not a huge fan of this version of the J1. Oh, they got shut down, apparently, Hanoi Riot. But we can have a look anyway. I'll have a quick Google, and if it comes up with anything, then I will put it on the screen. Hanoi Riot. It might be one of those brands as well. Oh, hang on. They Obey We Riot. Is this an actual functioning website? Okay, cool. Let's bring this up. Split screen. Hey, here we go. So, what can we have a look at? Oh, they've done a collab with Pepsi, apparently. Here we go. Yo! Techwear Pepsi. Can I get rid of this, please? Here we go. Sick. Techwear Pepsi and a jacket sling. What more could you want? Yo, this is fire. Unironically, kind of funny. And also very strange that there's some, like, random Techwear Pepsi collab. How peculiar. What else can we have a look at? Let's look at the core. I presume NAM means new. I am an ignorant Brit, unfortunately, so I cannot speak any foreign languages apart from a small amount of French. I also have no idea how many Vietnamese dollars are in a US dollar, so I don't know how much any of this stuff costs. But yeah, I mean, like, looks like a similar kind of vibe to some other brands. I'm trying to find some more like jackets and things like that. Yeah, Pepsi is the official Techwear drink. It's confirmed. Oh look, we got the t-shirts with the pockets on. Texy. Yeah, those shorts are a bit strange. High-waisted shorts. There's a lot of like basics and stuff like that I'm seeing. I was just looking if they had any kind of cool outerwear. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure it's fine. It seems decent enough. But yeah, I've not seen anything apart from that great Pepsi collab that's like super interesting. A lot of it seems quite like staple pieces. Oh yeah, the Acronym Dr. Pepper collab. I mean, what would be the most Techwear soft drink? And don't say Monster. We've already had that with Death Stranding. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a Coca-Cola fan myself, but Lemon and Mountain Dew, that would be a good one. The Mountain Dew gradient. I like the idea of that. You could have so many. I think with a lemon you want a drink, you want like Fanta or something. It's got like 100 different colours and flavours. Big Garth. Long comment. Let me read it real quick. New to Techwear, but love the clothing. That is good to hear. Want to incorporate it into my own style and some brand suggestions. The Tough Biggest ACG coat. I do not know what that is. Let me have a look. Well, it's not come up with anything. Yeah, I don't know which coat that is specifically. The tough and biggest ACG coat. Look. Water, yeah. We got to stay hydrated, boys. Water is a very good beverage for sure. I'm just trying to look for jackets. Maybe you meant one of the new ones. I mean, you might have meant the Syndicone one, maybe. That's the only very recent ACG jacket, which I've got to be honest. Big Tough looks like the Drake meme. Yeah, this is definitely not my favorite of the ACG jackets. That's for sure. Not huge on this texture. Oh, Tough Nuggets. That is an even stranger name. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you are correct. Oh, well, apparently they don't stock it in the UK, so that's helpful. Can we get an image maybe? Oh, okay, this one. It's like a little windbreaker type thing. Let's have a look. Okay, let's go for this one. Yeah, the Syndicone one really does look like a trash bag. It's not great. This one though looks a little bit cooler, and I really like this color. They've used this quite a lot over a bunch of the summer things. I like this little thing as well on the inside. That's quite fun. Yeah, this seems kind of cool. I feel like ACG are hitting their stride a little bit more. I feel like the earlier collections were maybe not that strong, but yeah, things are looking a little bit better now, so that's quite cool. There's actually some more ACG stuff that is worth talking about as well. So, in fact, let me pop back to End Clothing and we can have a check through some of those other fun new things. How's the RMT been holding up? Yeah, not too bad, thank you. I've actually, for a while, not been using it very much at all, just because I have a desktop PC as well. So 99% of the time I was using that, obviously not traveling very much at the moment, so I didn't have as much of a reason to use a laptop. But now I'm in this new place. I've got desktop is in another room over there. We've got this one, the office, well, doesn't have that desktop. And I think this is the better room to stream from and to do content and things like that. So I've set the laptop up in this room. So yeah, this whole thing is streamed off the Acronym laptop. So very, very Techwear stuff going on here. But yeah, it's good. I have enjoyed the laptop so far for sure, and I do really like the design and everything like that. Call Me Fail says, how do we keep track of new ACG releases? This is a bit of a difficult one because the ACG drops have been like really sporadic and kind of random, honestly. So there was a big fanfare like maybe 2 months ago when the first part of SS21 came out. So there were like press articles on like Hypebeast and Highsnobiety and all this. And there were lookbooks that came out before the collection dropped, stuff like that. And I think even on the Nike website as well, you could go and you could see things like before they came out, and it would say like, you know, coming soon and all of this. So you got kind of some idea from that when the first of the collection was coming out. But like these new things that have just come out, like this fun little jumper with dolphins on it, and there was, yeah, it was almost like a mini drop. This was like last week or something. Just seemed to come out of nowhere. Like I had no idea that more stuff was coming out. But yeah, it just suddenly kind of popped up. So a little bit strange. Yes, I have heard about the Acronym and Nike Blazer. So this is kind of an interesting one. Let us look at this as well. I'll see if there are any pictures. Yeah, so this is a kind of rumored slash leaked kind of thing. Yeah, this is like all we have to go on at the moment are these little pictures here. Is this going to load up bigger? Yeah, so this is about all we've got so far. And this is purely based on these Pirates guys who do like a bunch of shoe leaks and stuff like that. Yeah, they created this mock-up. I think it was based on a spec sheet of saying like, yeah, there's going to be Acronym and Nike product. It's going to be these colors and there's going to be like this thing on the back. So they kind of did it based on that. Which, yeah, this picture makes it look very unusual indeed. Like, I have not seen anything with these colors together before. There may well be other colors of this. This may well not be how it's going to look at all because previous things have been kind of inaccurate. But yeah, it seems like there's going to be acronym blazers, which is cool because I kind of feel like the blazer is an underrated Nike model. Um, and yeah, I think they're a pretty good looking shoe overall. So it'll be interesting to see what Acronym actually do with it, and if they take the undercover, put some stuff on the back kind of thing. The heel is a bot. I hope the heel is a bottle opener. That would be great. It looks kind of. It looks like it's made of metal based on this weird thing, but who knows? Um, Shout out to Christian. Hi from Mexico. There's so many people tuning in from all kinds of different countries, which is super cool. So, hello to you. And yeah, if you're in an interesting country, then definitely let me know because that's cool. I think it's really interesting that it's so easy to bring all these different people together to watch some random Techwear based chat. Yeah, I don't know the validity of this to be honest, and how likely this is, but yeah, ACG and Nike jacket for 80 shekels, Techwear bargain. Yeah, I think the ACG stuff overall is a fairly safe bet. Like if you like the look of it, then you're gonna get a decent product at the end of the day. I feel like some of it has been hit and miss. Like some of the jackets, they're kind of really oversized. They don't fit amazingly well, depending on what you want out of that kind of jacket. Um, but yeah, I think if you see it, you try it on, you're like, yeah, I'm happy with how this looks. Then often I think it's kind of decent stuff. And I know a lot of people like the cargo pants and stuff from more recent collections from ACG. So, any chance of me purchasing Rick Owens boots with the tractor sole? I can't remember what the tractor boots look like, so let me have a look. Rick Owens tractor boots. But yeah, in general, I think Rick Owens and Techwear is a very valid and very easy combo. Yeah, right. I know the stuff you mean now. Yeah, I think transparent soles in general are really cool. So the Downtown Air Force Ones, they use a transparent sole as well. So if you're concerned about that, like, oh, it looks a bit weird with Techwear or whatever, like, clearly not a problem. If it's been done, in Acronym or whatever, then it's already been done 100 times in outfit pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the tractor soles are pretty cool looking. I think there is loads of Rick Owens stuff that could work well with this kind of style, and there are plenty of Rick Owens products that fit into Techwear in general. Like a lot of the cargos, are made with some kind of water-resistant nylon or stuff like that. I'm actually wearing the Rick Owens shorts at the moment, so. Their Techwear benefit is that it is ridiculously hot in the UK and they are keeping my legs nice and breezy. To give you an idea, it is currently 27 degrees here, Celsius, which is incredibly hot for the UK, and I am trapped in this tiny office. So yeah, please feel my pain. Oh, that's a shame that you're not a fan of Rick. I think yeah, it's a bit of an acquired taste, and some people are definitely gonna love it. Some people are definitely gonna hate it. I think that's totally fine. But yeah, I just feel like I think Rick. I don't want to say Rick Owens underrated designer or whatever. Like obviously not. Rick Owens is one of one of the best known high fashion designers, and who doesn't have an interest in fashion and know who Rick Owens is, right? But I feel like the versatility from Rick Owens, the consistency in Rick Owens, like there are so many brands where you could say like I don't know, oh, Balenciaga, like, they've been really bad for X number of years, and then they had some good seasons, and then a bunch of terrible ones, and all this. Like, so many are so up and down. Rick Owens, has there been a kind of like, oh yeah, between this period and this period, Rick Owens was really bad? I don't think so. Was there ever a period where, oh, Rick Owens lost their way? They really departed from what they were best at, or what they kind of knew? Not really. I feel like, yeah, you could wear things from 2010 with things from 2020, and they would both kind of work and look really cool. It's similar to Acronym in that respect, I think, in that, yeah, they do have this kind of timeless quality, which I think is very cool. Rick and, Yoji Yamamoto as well is probably the other one that people talk about a lot as a brand that, yeah, is just super consistent, and you can always rely on them creating something that if you like Yoji, you will probably like every consecutive season. Fit check says meme demigod. Can I do that in here? Let me see. let me go back to the full screen. If I zoom this out a little bit, so now you get a sense of the room that I'm in. I'm in a teeny tiny little office. But yeah, all right. Fit check. We've got the Uniqlo t-shirt. We've got the Arxium pendant. This is the Buster Sword pendant. I think it's very cool. It is, yes, based on the Cloud's Buster Sword. And we've got the Rick Owens pod shorts as well. I can stand up on this. There we go. Check these bad boys out. Looking fresh. They annoyingly, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a tiny mark there. They were like that when I bought them, and I'm still waiting for end customer service to get back to me. Because, like, yeah, I bought them on sale, but that doesn't mean that I want to buy them with a mark on them. And I also don't want to try and, like, put a stain remover on them or something in case I destroy them and then act like it's my fault. So, yeah, a little bit stuck with that one. How do I feel about the new Y3 things? I feel like Y3 has had a difficult couple of seasons. I feel like they lost their way a little bit. They went in this kind of streetwear direction where a lot of their things had really heavy branding on, and it was just like, yeah, t-shirt with massive Y3 logo. And I know that they have done that for a long time to some extent. But yeah, they really kind of took it to the next level, I think. And yeah, I don't really feel like it went that well for them. My understanding is that the actual involvement from Yoji Yamamoto has kind of gone down and down and down. But yeah, okay, so let's pull some of these things up real quick. So yeah, new Y3 things. Men's jacket, I haven't found that yet. But it seems a little bit more like they are going kind of back to their roots in a sense, in that, I'm seeing less massively heavily branded things here. It's the kind of basic sportswear with a little bit of a, what's the word, like a bit of a tailoring based twist, I guess. Not really seeing too much from the shoes. It just seems like, things that they've kind of done before, but with different colors and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like it's really been some time since there's been something from Y3 to really get excited about. I mean, like, look, this is one of the new shoes. It kind of looks okay. Could this have come out 4 years ago? Maybe. I'm not really seeing anything that's super like, oh wow, like this is a real 2021 shoe. But I guess you could say that of Adidas generally, to be honest. I'm not crazy on Adidas in general. Oh, that's cool though, Death Scythe, that you got the flip-flops. Y3 is a good one to pick up on sale, actually, because it's not the cheapest brand in the world at retail, but because it's not crazy popular at the moment, it's quite common that it will go on sale, so you might get yourself a bit of a bargain there. What? My life is complete. Yeah, glad you like the new room. Thank you. I think yeah, I think it's come along kind of nicely. I could do with 1 or 2 more bits. So what I ideally wanted to do is to have these things here, these little posters. These are actually made by my lovely girlfriend who did them of me. So there is one that is out of shot. So they're all like, these are all pictures of me in like various scenarios or whatever. So yeah, this is from one of my Instagram pictures that she like painted and turned into a little drawing. So yeah, super cool. And the other ones are of skateboarding and snowboarding respectively. But anyway, I wanted to stick those on the wall so they're like a little bit higher up, and I will probably have shelves as well. So if we zoom that out a little bit, yeah, I will ideally have probably shelves above this thing, which will have like some of the older Lego sets on, things like that, and then those can also go somewhere, maybe either between that thing and the shelves or somewhere else. I'm not really sure, but because yeah, the thing about this place that we're in at the moment, the ceilings are like mega high. So if I tilt, can I tilt that up? There you go. You can see like that's the top of the. I'm pointing totally the wrong way, but yeah, top of the door is obviously door height, and yeah, the ceiling is like way higher than that. So very high ceilings. There's a lot of like white space up here that we could do with filling with some cool stuff. Jackal says, review on the Nike and MMW collab. Yes, we can definitely take a look at the Nike MMW stuff. This was on my little checklist of things that I wanted to talk about during this stream, actually. So thank you for mentioning it. So let us have a look. Is this going to show us everything? Do they have everything on there? Yes, okay. So let me pop this up. Here we go. So first of all, damn it, the socks are sold out. I had the chance of getting 2 Nike swooshes on my sock instead of just 1, but too bad. Yeah, the new things. There's men's and women's things. I don't know, like, it always strikes me as slightly odd, like, when some of the things sell out like this. Like, this is literally just a Nike t-shirt, and they put some Japanese text on it and kind of called it a day. And that was one of the most popular things, apparently. I find, yeah, the kanji or whatever Japanese text that appears on quite a few of these pieces seems a bit weird to me. Like, what is the MMW and Nike collection to, like, what is the relationship between that and kanji or Japanese text? Like, not really sure. I don't have a problem with putting that on stuff, obviously, like the Gorilla Group jacket that's back there. Oh, just bashed my mic. Yeah, has loads of, like, Chinese characters on the back. That makes sense. It's a Taiwanese brand. But yeah, on this, I'm not really sure why. There might be a reason, and I just don't know what that is. In which case, fine, no issue, obviously. Yeah, so I thought it was kind of a fun jacket, but I feel like it doesn't quite know what it wants to be, and I say that because, so, like, a lot of it, you know, aesthetically, it's obviously a very kind of lifestyle looking product, I feel. You know, it's designed to look cool, and that's fine, that's good. And it's got quite a few, like, interesting bits on it from a design perspective. You know, there we go, that's the kind of the Japanese text or whatever that I was talking about. Yeah, I kind of like this asymmetric detail that we've got going on here. I can't kind of shake the feeling that this stuff wishes it was Nike Lab ACG a little bit, you know? It kind of feels like, yeah, they've taken those kinds of ideas, they're approaching it with a bit more of a, like, sports training kind of deal, but if they could, would they just make an Alpine again? I feel like maybe they would. And I feel like the Alpine is a cooler looking jacket than this one is. But I feel like, you know, Nike just have to deal with that. Trying too hard to be Shogun armor. Yeah, definitely feel that. Gore-Tex Infinium is the material as well. So, you know, decent fabric. It's quite expensive. And yeah, this is the thing that confuses me slightly. So this is a kind of training vest thing. It was originally developed for use by tennis players. So what they do, like between sets or whatever, you would put this vest on, and these are like cold packs. So you have like cold water, or you like freeze these or whatever. You put them on, cools down your core body temperature, and then you go back out there, you do some more training, whatever. Seems like weird implementation for me to have a kind of cool lifestyle jacket and then put a very kind of specific bit of high-end sports functionality on it. Like, who is going to want to carry those around? No one, or almost no one. So you're probably just going to, like, put these in a drawer somewhere and forget about them. And I feel like most people are probably not going to want to pay for that as part of their jacket. Most people would probably just prefer to have the jacket and not have to worry about these random cold packs that they're never going to use. And, you know, maybe there is a kind of design kind of approach that they took here, and that, you know, they want this to be a bit of a sportswear training collection, whatever. But I just feel like this is not what the market really wants. So yeah, I think I'm feeling a little bit of, like, confusion around it on that basis. And had they just stuck to, like, how can we make a cool technical lifestyle product, I feel like maybe it would have worked a little bit better. Yeah, Helia Emil, king of fake functionality. Yeah, I've seen some. Yeah, Kevin, this is all the same jacket. This is literally one piece, so there's a lot you can do with it. You can, like, take bits off. But yeah, the fake functionality is a funny point. Like, they've got yeah, like these. what are they, like these weird like shiny pants that look like you basically can't move in them at all. They've got things that have buckles all over them, all kinds of crazy stuff. If I had to choose, Manuel says, if I had to choose between Acronym Prestos and Acronym VaporMax, what would I choose? That is a good question. Do I have both here? No, I have the Prestos there in the background. Yeah, good question. I'd say the Prestos are probably more versatile. I think these are. In fact, let me grab them real quick. So these, despite these ones in particular being a ridiculous color, I feel like these are a little bit kind of easier to integrate or wear because they're kind of like a lifestyle shoe at the end of the day. I think, you know, you can chuck these on in a regular outfit, they kind of work and they make sense, even though they are very obviously technical looking. The VaporMaxes though, because they're slip-ons, because they're very, very form-fitting, they're very slim, I feel like you can only really wear those in that more like athleisure focused kind of thing. And because they are super loud as well, like they've got this crazy pattern all over them, I think you have to pay a little bit more attention and pay a bit more care to what you're doing when you're wearing them. So I wear these more than the VaporMaxes for sure. Which one is more comfortable? Good question. They're probably similar. I think they're both fairly comfortable. Maybe these because they've got a little bit more kind of ankle support, just. But yeah, I think they're both cool shoes. But in terms of versatility, the Prestos probably have it. And yeah, VaporMaxes do squeak a lot. When is the next local-ish tech meet? That's a good question. I mean, yeah, now we can do stuff like that again. Yeah, who knows? We could see a repeat of the iconic Nike Lab Techwear picture from 2016 or whatever. Do I still wear the Acronym Downtowns? I do. They are behind the camera, but they're over there. Yeah, I think they're really cool. I think the Downtown Air Force Ones are underrated for sure. I think they're great with like wider stuff, things with a bit more bulk to them, with a bit more of that military reference. I think they're a very like substantial shoe. I think they're really interesting as well because of how different they are to the regular Air Force Ones. Like name another Air Force One that looks like the Downtown ones. You can't, because yeah, they're just super different. I like them a lot for that reason. What's bad about them? I mean, they kind of look like a winter shoe and they are terrible for winter. If you've ever tried wearing them on ice or, yeah, like slidey, wet ground, anything like that, you're going over. There's no way. Am I a bot? Yes, I am a bot. Oh, and no worries on the sizing advice, even though I got it wrong, because I thought that the XL Prestos were 11 to 12, but they're actually 12 to 13, or something like that. Thoughts on the new Helly Hansen Co. and then a big product code. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Helly Hansen is kind of a weird brand because I've seen recently some. Is this gonna load anything? Here we go. From 2 days ago. Nice. Okay, let's take a little look at this. Okay, let me bring this up real quick for y'all. Here we go. Yeah, 2 days ago, posted on Hypebeast. Yeah, let's have a look through these things because I think Helly Hansen is kind of an interesting brand. But I want to talk through some of these other little questions before we take a little deep dive into this. Corvée says, want to hear my take on Catstack products? Any videos planned? Yes, actually. I got some stuff from Enshadower last week, so thanks to them for sending me a couple of bits. And 2 of those things are from Catstack. There is a new Catstack jacket and a pair of cargo pants as well. So that will be in a video coming up, probably either week after next or the week following that, as a bit of a, you know, affordable alternative to buying from dropshippers and stuff like that. I kind of want to do everything I can to make sure that people are not buying from dropshipper retailers because, yeah, people Google Techwear or whatever, the first things that come up are these tragic dropshipping websites, and I just feel really bad for anyone that, you know, they do the Googling, they click on this stuff, they go to, you know, some random Techwear website, and then it's, yeah, they just end up with these terrible products, and then they think, damn, like maybe Techwear kind of sucks or whatever, and they get, well, they waste their money, they have a bad experience. it putting them off Techwear or this kind of style is kind of secondary to that. I just don't like the idea of people getting ripped off, basically. So I kind of want to do what I can to make content where if people are doing those initial like Techwear or cheap Techwear or affordable Techwear or, you know, whatever searches, that they find some good content that is giving a little bit more information and a bit more context about these different things. And then it's their choice, right? They can say like, look, I don't want to spend massive amounts of money. I just want something really cheap. Then fine, you can take the risk. You can buy from a brand that is kind of fairly cheap, but maybe still a bit better. You can hold out. You can buy a more expensive brand. There are lots of different options, but I just want to make sure that people have the information. Rather than just diving in and kind of getting stung on something like a world that maybe they don't really know too much about. That was a longer answer than I was really intending on, but yeah. Oh, cool. Death Scythe bought the Snow Peak and New Balance collab. Yes, I have them down there. I was a fan of those. They are too hot to wear now, but I did think they were a very cool collab and kind of underrated, and not many people seem to know about them either. There's a car driving past on gravel, so if that was really loud, apologies. How do I feel about Doom Life? It's okay. I think it's okay. I think there's going to be a certain brand of person, a certain subsection of person where Doom Life is going to be right up their street. If they like Star-Lord, they want to kind of get involved with it on that basis. They just kind of want some streetwear stuff, but with some more kind of edgy, technical branding on it, then yeah, you know what? I think it's fine. I don't think it is really being dishonest about what it is trying to be either. I don't think Doom Life is trying to say like, yeah, this is crazy performance techwear clothing or anything like that. Yeah, it's kind of the dark wear, gothy, grungy type stuff. So you know what? For that, it's fine. I think the quality of it was fine. They actually sent me some new stuff as well. Which I probably won't feature on the channel or anything because it's not hugely different to the things that we already looked at. But I quite like the colour of it, and they had a couple of new t-shirts as well, and I wasn't really a big fan of the graphics, but if the graphics appeal to you, then, you know, you're going to get a decent t-shirt. They're like 25 quid or something, so it's not a crazy amount of money. Gorpcore versus Techwear. I mean, does it have to be versus? Why do we have to fight? Can't we just get along? I think they're kind of two sides of the same coin, honestly. The Gorpcore kind of stuff and the Techwear kind of stuff. It's just like the context that you're wearing it in. I mean, take this stuff here, for example. Like, this is very much, there's some Gorpcore vibes going on here. There's some Techwear vibes. They're kind of one and the same. And I think, yeah, there are loads of things. Like the Death Stranding jacket, the J1 GtPL. Like, for a lot of people, that is very, you know, it's Techwear jacket, it's got loads of Techwear features, but it's quite a colourful thing as well, and I tend to wear that more, like, out hiking or walking than I do in urban spaces. So I think the crossover is huge, honestly, and I think that's happening more now that Gorpcore is getting kind of more popular, and people are picking up brands like Arc'teryx or Patagonia or whatever, and wearing them in cities. There's only going to be more crossover between those two spaces. Meme Demigod, yeah, we spoke about Uniden earlier in the stream, so yeah, have a click back for that after, I suppose. But that's good to hear that you liked the updated Steven cargos, because yeah, that was something that we did talk about as well. What is my next purchase? That is a good question. I honestly have no idea. There's not really anything that I feel like I really desperately need. And I bought quite a few bits that I showed off in the last video, which was the summer Techwear one. So yeah, I'm at a little bit of a kind of, not really sure at the moment kind of phase. I would quite like to try some stuff that's just totally different to what I would normally wear. Like maybe, I know I bought something from Capital last year, but that kind of look, which is just very different to the ordinary stuff that I would go for. Something like that could be cool. Chat is jumping around all over the place when I'm trying to scroll, so apologies. I'm not sure if people know, but you go to your own country's Acer store, there is a small possibility you can get an Acronym laptop. Yes, that is true. Some retailers do still have them. I saw a couple of months ago Scan, which is a UK retailer. They had the RMT01 for £500 off. So, I mean, it's still not cheap, let's be honest. It was still like £2,000, I think, they had it for. Pounds, not dollars. But yeah, it does give you an option. My thoughts on the RMT01. I mean, I made an entire video about it, and then we did the interview, so there's a lot of content around about the RMT already. But I've been liking it a lot so far. I think the look of it is one of those things that when I saw it for the first time, I was a bit like, oh, I'm not quite sure about this. But the more you look at it, the more you kind of understand it visually, the more kind of appeal it has. And I really like how, there's a lot of value you can get from it aesthetically by looking at it. And how that look kind of represents what it's designed for. Like, it's a working tool. It's not an epic gamer laptop. This isn't designed for you to be like saying naughty gamer words and drinking Monster Energy. This is for doing cool creative stuff like live streaming, for example. And yeah, we're running the stream off that laptop now. So yeah, I think it's a cool device for sure, and I'm very glad that Acronym are doing that kind of collaborative stuff. This is arse. Should I buy the 2-in-1 ACG? I'm not sure what one. Oh, the 2015 Nike Lab ACG 2-in-1. I like that jacket a lot. I have almost bought one on several occasions, but it's just kind of never quite worked out. I really like the white one in particular. But yeah, cool jacket. I like it just as I like the Alpine visually. Yeah, it's got the kind of heavy branding thing done right. So yeah, I'm a fan. White Sui, sorry if I got that name wrong, says hello from Hiking Patrol. Very cool Instagram account, Hiking Patrol. So yeah, if you're into your Gorpcore stuff, then definitely take a look at that account. And hello to you. Oh, rough experience with Nilmans. That sucks. Yeah, I've spoken about them a couple of times on the channel, but yeah, that's a shame that it didn't match up. Keith says, if I wasn't into techwear, what style do I think I'd wear? Yeah, interesting question. An NT kind of similar thing, like style development. So kind of throughout, I've never really liked branded stuff, so I've never really worn anything like that. But before getting kind of properly into fashion, I suppose, I used to buy a lot of Uniqlo stuff actually, and I would wear, yeah, like loads of basics, just like fun colored stuff, just weird things like that. And then when I started getting a little bit more into fashion, I kind of decided that, yeah, I would be like, very Scandinavian and minimal, kind of no branding, keeping it, like kind of not quite luxury products, but things that are like quietly a little bit nicer than your average things. So I bought a few things from like Acne Studios and APC and brands like that. And I really wanted to buy some of those, the petite new standards, the APC raw denim jeans, but I didn't fit into them because I've got big fat thighs. But we won't dwell too much on that. So yeah, that was kind of what I was wearing, and then I was just thinking like, this style is really boring. Like, I'm spending more money on fashion, I'm spending more time looking at fashion stuff, and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I could be wearing anything. I don't feel inspired, I don't feel particularly cool, I don't think I look that interesting. And at the same time, this was maybe in like 2015, people were starting to post techwear content and it was getting a little bit more traction and stuff like that. And I saw that and it looked like the opposite of what I was starting to wear. And I kind of thought, yeah, like this style looks super cool. I really like, science fiction, gaming, tech culture, all of that kind of thing, like futurism in general. So the kind of futuristic look appealed to me a lot. And this kind of like tactical, utilitarian kind of idea that like clothing can like actually do stuff as well as just look cool. And it was all downhill from there, basically. But yeah, if I didn't know what techwear was, if I never got into it, what would I wear? That is a good question. Would I have gone further down that minimalist rabbit hole? Maybe, or maybe I just would have followed like generic streetwear kind of things. I don't know. It could have been anything really. I would like to think that maybe in another life I would be super into Capital and Visvim and stuff like that, and I would instead have gone back to like the heritage kind of style. Because that's something that kind of interests me as well. Where can I find the Cavempt leak? I don't know, unfortunately. I don't know anything about Cavempt leaks. I'm not very up on my Cavempt, to be honest. I just occasionally see it on sale and then buy things. I've got like 3 or 4 Cavempt bits, I think. What else can we look at? What was the first acronym item? The first proper one was the CP4, the cape from SS2018, I think, which is a bit of a weird first acronym item. Aside from that, I had a few pairs of shoes before that. But yeah, the first one was the cape, which I definitely would not recommend as a first acronym pickup. I barely ever wear it. It's a bit of a silly item, to be honest, but it's quite cool anyway. Is Gorilla Group a good brand to buy from? Yeah, as Turge says, yeah, they've been around for years. They kind of pioneered the style that now a lot of other brands have kind of copied, and they moved on. They don't always have what's the word? Like, I've heard some kind of quality control issues from Gorilla Group, and my own example is that the pair of cargos that I have from them, like one of the buttons fell off like immediately. But aside from that, like, I think they make good stuff. I still wear the Gorilla Group jacket from 2017, which is back there somewhere. I think that's a really cool piece. So yeah, I think there's a lot to like about Gorilla Group for sure, and some of their new stuff is really interesting as well. What techwear brand would I recommend to someone that only has Julius? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of things could work with a brand like Julius, to be honest. You've got kind of adjacent brands like the Viridian as well, I think, have that kind of techwear relationship. Things like Rick Owens, you know, it's not necessarily a techwear brand, but they work. Yeah, what else? There are definitely acronym pieces that you could wear with Julius, like gas mask cargos and things like that, for sure. So yeah, I wouldn't kind of restrict yourself too much, to be honest, in terms of what techwear brand I would necessarily recommend. Just try out a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, we can definitely take some inspo from Battlefield 2042. Apart from the guns, we don't really want that, and it's still very cringy. Having all those hashtag techwear pictures on Instagram of people posing with weaponry. I don't know why people do that, but it's like a big thing, and yeah, it's very strange. Did I see the new Vans C2H4? I did. Some of the stuff looked a bit better than some of the other stuff, I felt. But yeah, it was kind of interesting to me. The thing that I liked more was the Chemist Creations sunglasses that came out recently. I thought those were cool. So Chemist Creations is like the more streetwear-y arm of C2H4. C2H4 is the kind of more like avant-garde-esque, I suppose. But yeah, Chemist Creations is a bit more fun, a bit more, yeah, more streetwear basically, and they had some cool sunglasses, so I was a fan of those. Okay, there's a Facebook group and a Discord. That's cool for CavAmp. So yeah, I might check that out. Right, I feel like I'm getting like super caught up looking at the chat, which is good. But we also need to take a look at this Helly Hansen stuff. So yeah, this came out 2 days ago. What have we got here? So yeah, this Aegir stuff, Aegir, I don't know. They've done a few of these collections now, and they take it from like archive Helly Hansen stuff. They update it, they do a cool photo shoot, and then they release it. So there's been a few of these. I thought the last collection of this was quite cool as well. But yeah, it looks like just from these two pictures, there's some fun looking stuff in here. Absolutely massive boonie hat here, which I really like. What have we got here? Like a little... Is this a hood kind of by itself that you can pop over? Maybe. Gorilla Group did something like this actually, which was quite cool. I like all these little hanging bags that they've got as well. Maybe some packable jackets and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the photography is really nice as well on this stuff. Not 100% on this jacket. Maybe we need some more angles of this. But yeah, these pink things are kind of fun though. This is a little bit Nemen actually, with the kind of the dip-dyed, well not dip-dyed, but kind of tie-dye-esque kind of look to it. And I'm always up for brands which inject a little bit more color into this stuff. So yeah, these kinds of looks are pretty cool. And this is another thing where, yeah, this is absolutely between the Gorpcore and the techwear kind of thing, right? I think this absolutely straddles that line. And there's definitely some performance elements too. We're also seeing the Merrill Hydro Mocs here in the product pictures. Guess who talked about those in a video a couple of weeks ago? Of course, it was me. But yeah, I want to see more people in these because I think they're pretty cool personally, and I may have to pick up a pair for myself. Yeah, another cool look. Very like technical hiker kind of thing. Like you could just imagine switching out those shorts with some cargo pants and then, you know, archetypal techwear stuff, right? So yeah, I actually think these looks are kind of cool, and I think this is some quite interesting stuff. And yeah, Helly Hansen is a brand which probably not a lot of people are looking at from a fashion perspective, but this little line, the HH and then massive string of numbers, is definitely something to keep a lookout for. Cool. What else can we look at? Yeah, Nem and Dip Dye stuff are so expensive. Very true. It does tend to go on sale. So the Nem jacket that I have, yeah, it was like 70% off or something like that. So keep a lookout for big sales. Thomas says, "What anime am I watching right now?" I'm kind of between animes because I just finished Samurai Champloo, which was really good, and just finished the latest season of Castlevania, which was also very good. And I also watched Yasuke, which is on Netflix, which came out recently, which was only 6 episodes, but that was quite good as well. Soundtrack, and I think it was directed as well by Flying Lotus, so the music was really, really good. My only criticism of Yasuke is a bit of a weird criticism in that it is almost too fast paced, I think, in that there is only 6 episodes and a lot happens in those 6 episodes. And I feel like, the amount of stuff that happens in the first episode, from like where we see him at to what happens in the final moments of the first episode, that could almost have been an entire season and gone real into depth of like slice of life. What is this guy doing these days? His new identity, all the different characters in the town and stuff like that, really flesh them out so you really care about all those characters. And then when shit hits the fan at the end of episode 1, because you would have had so much more time to kind of build up to it, and then all this stuff suddenly happens, it would be like, whoa, it'd be like a total like upside down turn. But instead they do the whole thing in like 25 minutes, and it's a bit like it just comes out of nowhere. And that's fine, if you don't have a lot of time. If you don't want to watch the like Attack on Titan reminiscing episodes that they love to do, where I remember there was one episode where like there's a cannon aimed at this guy, and he literally spends the entire episode being like, "I remember this time that happened like a bunch of years ago," and then it's a like massive 20-minute long flashback for the entire episode. They don't do that. There is none of that. It's very fast paced. So yeah, you might like it on that basis. But overall, it was a pretty cool show. Let's have a look at some of these other questions. Yeah, a few people talking about Rosen. Yeah, Corbin did do a recent Rosen video, so I would definitely recommend checking that out if you are interested in Rosen X as a brand. Yeah, it's probably, of their recent things, I think some of them are cooler looking than others, that's for sure. I'm not a massive fan of everything in the collection, but it seems to hit that kind of area that a lot of people are looking for, where you get that. I don't know if they still do made to order stuff actually, but they did certainly do that before. They've got these kind of very technical aesthetics, very futuristic stuff. Some of it reminds me a bit of some of the earlier Gorilla Group seasons actually, and kind of wrapped up in a price tag that is cheaper than quite a few of the other brands out there. So I definitely see the appeal of it on that basis. And yeah, some of the pieces are pretty cool. Question from MT about interesting shorts. Yeah, that's a good question. So what have I got? I got some Hamkus ones from last year, which I think are really cool, very interesting. The dip dye looks great. We've got the Rick Owens ones on at the moment, which are extremely comfortable. Gorilla Group have done some that I quite like. I have some Y3 Sarawel shorts that are also nice. You've got the Acronym ones, of course. But I think, yeah, to be honest, like anything that's just nice and loose and breezy is right up my street. There are some kind of tighter ones as well, like Outlier have quite a few shorts. That's definitely one of their areas of expertise, I think. So I've got one of their OG cloth pairs of shorts. So shoulder dry skin basically, but in short form. So you can basically wear them as swimming trunks. They're super versatile. They're really comfy as well. So that's a good brand for that for sure. But yeah, what else aside from those guys? I think I've been through all of my own shorts. Maybe people like Stone Island. I don't know if they have shorts. But yeah, ultimately, like, there's only so much you can do to an extent. I mean, of course, as well, look at all of the different hiking brands and things like that, because they've got, I mean, I know people like to meme cargo shorts about being like super ugly and like for dads only, but like, get grilling, dads. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, cargo shorts, they're back in. You can wear them, it's fine. And there are, of course, loads of brands who do that. We looked at Goopy Made a bit earlier. They'd be a good one for that for sure. Oversized long tees. Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there. Aoku have some long, very technical ones. There's the Acronym one that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, lots of brands with the extended stuff. Rick Owens, obviously, big on that. Yeah, Corvée, there is definitely a big crossover between Techwear fans and nerd culture. I think there's loads of reasons. I think anime is, and like video games and all of that stuff is more popular than people realize. So, you know, a lot of people like anime. It's fine. And I think it kind of appeals to, and I see this in fashion generally, like it appeals to that kind of slightly obsessive nature. Like with anime and tech culture and gaming, people really like going like really deep into it and making it like a big part of who they are. And the same thing applies to fashion as well. So I think if you're of that type where you really like finding a hobby or an interest and like really deep diving in it and spending a lot of time with it, then you'll probably do that for everything. And those kinds of hobbies which do that will kind of appeal to you more. So I definitely think there's crossover for that reason. With Techwear in particular, there's definitely the futuristic element, the science fiction, the dystopian, all of those kinds of values and ideas. And you know, the tech in Techwear, the fact that they are technical products, they do things, they have innovative design elements, they are performance heavy, all those kinds of things that you would find in like a mobile phone or some other cool piece of tech. So I think there's loads of different reasons and ways why these kinds of things cross over. Tokyo Revengers and 86. Thank you for the recommendations. I've never heard about either of those, but I will check them out for sure. What do I think about Black Taylor? I there's a limited amount that I can talk about Black Taylor. And to give you some more context, I had a video where I was kind of talking about them, and they made me take down the video basically. So yeah. No, so my thought on Black Taylor, to be like slightly more accurate, was that I don't want to say anything too like specific. So I won't talk about Black Taylor in particular, but there are kind of two categories of retailer, right? You've got the, when it comes to the kind of like the cheap techwear stuff, you've got the dropshippers. So you got people that you order one product, you get something, you know, you get whatever, it gets passed through to a different warehouse and they're not holding the stock, they just send it to you. And you get another kind of category of retailers where they are selling kind of similar sorts of products, which is why you will often see a lot of crossover between all these different websites, a lot of people carrying the same stock. But what you can do with certain models, you can buy kind of wholesale, like Techwear cargo pants, for example. And what they can do at the factory level, they will say to you, hey, what brand do you want on this? What do you want us to put on? And do I have an example here? I do not, sadly. But like, take a look a couple of weeks ago at the Elfric Eden things that we looked at, for example. They were a pair of cargos that you'll see on loads of different websites, but the ones that I have say Elfric Eden on them because I bought them from Elfric Eden. But in all other ways, they're kind of the same. And Black Taylor is another brand that do that. So yeah, you will probably notice if you go on the Black Taylor website, similar products at loads of different retailers. The Black Taylor ones have Black Taylor written on them. Yeah. You can make your own decision as to whether that means you should buy from them or not. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, the Elfric Eden review that we did a few weeks ago, that's probably indicative of the kind of quality of product that you'll receive. But I don't have any personal experience with that. So yeah. Arc'teryx Palace. Yes, I've heard good things about the Palisade shorts actually. So yeah, that's a good one. I didn't know Tobias Berg Nielsen had shorts as well, actually. So yeah, definitely look at those also. Yeah, they're kind of an interesting brand. And BioLuck are talking about the barefoot shoes, Vivo barefoot stuff. Yeah, I think I wouldn't necessarily say that it's something that's slept on, but I mean, yeah, people are wearing things like the Merrell Hydro Mocs and these other kinds of like croc style shoes. The barefoot stuff is only like one stage away from that, right? So I see no real reason why not. I also think the Balenciaga Vibram 5 foot things, 5 foot, 5, what are they called? 5 fingers, 5 toes. I don't know. Balenciaga did a Vibram collab thing where they had the like toe shoes, and that I think helped to bring that idea into the forefront a little bit more. Yeah, hey Aoku, chilling in the chat. That's cool of you to stop by. So thanks for that. Java attempted to shell out $450 for the acronym shirt. Yeah, is it worth it? That's a good question. I guess only you can answer that. But I think it's quite cool, and it's a fun piece of the acronym ecosystem, I suppose. And it's not often that you will see a brand making a dry skin t-shirt, so you'll get something that a lot of people don't have, that's for sure. And I kind of like how it's got a little bit of branding on there as well. I think that's quite cool. CP Company probably do have shorts, yes. How do I feel about the Cowboy Bebop live action? I'm going to reserve judgment until it's actually released, but the track record for anime being made into live action has been pretty terrible. So yeah, I'm not exactly holding out much expectations for that one. But who knows? Maybe it will be good. The source material is amazing, so who knows? Yeah, the line between grilling dads and Techwear bros is defined by the amount of stains of ketchup stains on the tank top. Yeah, that's true. Because Techwear bros have the dry skin t-shirts, right? So just rolls right off them. How far do Converse high tops go in the Techwear world? I think people have a lot more flexibility with footwear than they perhaps. In fact, should we hang on? Let me make this full screen because we're not really looking at the Helly Hansen stuff. I think people obsess over footwear a little bit too much with the Techwear stuff. You can wear Converse high tops if you want. They're just a high top shoe at the end of the day. I don't think you have to wear like a super crazy technical shoe. Like at the end of the day, is the overall shape of a Converse high top massively different to a Presto? I mean, clearly it's a very different shoe, but it's a high top sneaker. You can't go too far wrong, I don't think. And you know, people will happily wear Vans slip-ons and all kinds of just regular shoes with this kind of style. So there's loads of things that you could wear for sure. Some Cold Wall stuff is in the end of season sale. That is good to know because that's a brand that I quite like. So yeah, definitely. Thoughts on CP Company pants? Oh well, that's addressed to chat. That's addressed to you guys rather than me. But yeah, I think they look decent, the CP Company pants, and often they're not crazy expensive either. A lot of them are like pretty minimal, I suppose. They don't have anything too crazy going on, so maybe you won't find them interesting enough. But yeah, I think they're decent. The Nike and Matthew M. Williams shorts, yeah, they have very pocket heavy look, very technical looking. They come with a little free workout towel as well, which is quite cute that you can strap on. Oh, I didn't know that I was. Some people were saying that my mic is cutting out, so apologies if that is happening. I don't know why, because everything looks like it's fine my end, mic-wise. I will switch that mic off. So yeah, not sure why that's happening, I'm afraid. It could be like a temperature thing, because this laptop has been on for a while now. The fan is sounding crazy. Well, not crazy. The fan has ramped up because it's super hot in here. This is like doing all of this streaming for like an hour and a half now. So, okay, cool. That's good that some other people aren't having issues. So yeah, maybe it's like a stream thing. Yeah, rather than it being my side. So, okay, cool. The J1 GtPL isn't on the official Acronym site. If it's not on the site or it's not visible, then it's probably sold out. But I think some other retailers still have them, so you do still have a chance to pick one up if you're super interested. Silent saying about the Zoom 004. So let's have a look at these, because I was in two minds about these, and that is to the extent that all right, let me bring these up. Yeah, these are the Zoom 004s, the MMW ones. I was in two minds about these, and I actually entered the raffle to win the red ones, and I lost. And now they are actually available. Like, I found somewhere where they're in stock, but I kind of don't want them now because it was like the thrill of the hunt almost, you know? And yeah, after losing the raffle, I was like, I don't want them anyway. And I kind of decided that I didn't want them. But I actually think that they're really cool. I think they're a great looking shoe. I think they are incredibly expensive. I don't know why they're so much money. Yeah, $450 retail. That is crazy to me. So, yeah, can that shoe be worth it? I don't know. I'm going to go with no. But I do think that they look really cool. And I've seen a couple of cool pictures on the Techwear clothing subreddit where people have worked these into outfits, and I thought they looked great. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't necessarily advise against them or anything like that, but they just seem very expensive for what they are. Rowan copped. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I do bash my mic occasionally, so that might cause a mic issue. Bought the Ambush Converse boots, the blue ones. Those are very crazy looking, so I hope you find something cool to wear those with. Oh, chat, Techwear Crocs. So definitely Techwear Crocs. And the Nicole McLaughlin Crocs. Those are the most Techwear Crocs you could ever buy. Nike Element 87. Yeah, I think they seem decent. I actually bought one of the very first ones a long time ago, and I ended up returning them because they didn't fit me that well. I can't remember the exact reason. I think they were maybe a little bit narrow on my feet or something like that, or they were maybe. I think my true size was maybe a tiny bit roomy. But yeah, there was something about them that I didn't quite like fit-wise, but a lot of people have found them very comfortable, and I think they're a decent looking shoe. I think the undercover ones in particular as well had some really nice colours. So yeah, they were cool. What about, yes, Nike Waffle 1. That was another one that was on the agenda. So let's look at these because, yeah, I definitely want to talk about these. Nike Waffle 1. So this is something that brands are doing increasingly now where they will make some kind of collaboration. It will be really hyped. Everyone will buy it up. And then they will bring up or release the kind of watered down mainstream version. And the Nike Waffle 1 is exactly that. Can you look? I know you're in stock, so don't lie to me. Let's Waffle 1. Here we go. Please show them to me. Right, here we go. So, yeah, if you recognize these, oh look, they look like the Sacai collabs, don't they? Except they're a mainstream version and they're in stock and you can buy them in many sizes, although not my size. So despite this, it sounded like me like roasting this practice of brands doing this. People have to do this, right? Because the whole point of popular collabs is that they are very restricted. Only certain people can buy them. They've got all the resale value, people buying them up, generating that demand. And then they bring out the stuff like this, the more watered down version, so that they can bring that product to the mass market at a more affordable price. And the people that are buying these are probably not going to be buying the Sacai ones, right? Because yeah, no one's going to want to pay the like $300 plus resale to get the Sacais. But if you can drop 100 quid and get these ones that look kind of similar, then hey, why not? I think these are actually a good looking shoe personally. Yeah, I like them. I love the transparent elements. I think the colors are really nice as well. They've got the kind of stacked up sole thing here, which the Sacais kind of do to some extent, but in a more wearable way. Like, yeah, I think anyone could buy and wear a pair of shoes like this and not have any problem styling them at all. So yeah, I think they're quite cool. Kayang says, if I could own only one pair of acronym pants, what would I pick? I only have two pairs. I've got the P23 TSCH and the P30 ADS. Of those, I would probably keep the P30 because I think they're a little bit more comfortable, and I think they're very their width and the overall silhouette just makes them look super different to anything else. The P23 they're a great looking pant, I think, and they're a little bit more kind of regular in the overall silhouette. So yeah, the P30, and they're just so different to anything else I own. They're kind of crazy out there. But I think both of them are great, and I would very very much be interested in picking up more acronym pants. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Jody, you are right. This is not a new thing. Taking like collabs and then making it into a mass market product. Definitely not new. And a lot of other brands do it as well. Like Converse do it, although they're owned by Nike. Yeah. Acronym or Enfant Leve? I would definitely say acronym. They've been doing this for a lot longer. They have a lot more innovative products. They've got a lot more hits. I think Enfant Leve have some great pants, and I really like all the pants I've got from Enfant Leve. I like the jackets I've got from Enfant Leve. But I think the pants are definitely stronger than the jackets. That's for sure. Whereas Acronym, obviously, like they've got the whole product ecosystem, which is all really strong. And Enfant Leve is, they have been certainly accused of being kind of derivative, not having their own aesthetic as much. Acronym, a lot more kind of trailblazing in that regard. And there are a few examples of things from Enfant Leve which are very clearly kind of borrowed design elements from Acronym. So yeah, I feel like you have to go with the kind of the original version if you were to come down to it. But yeah, I've been very happy with all my Enfant Leve stuff, and yeah, I would definitely recommend them in general. Oh, glad I could introduce you to Techwear, Adonai. So thanks for that. 511 cargos, yeah, they're a good kind of cheap Techwear option. That's for sure. Heard a lot of people say good things about the 511 tactical cargos. Project X coat. I don't know what that is. Hang on, let me make this full screen real quick, and then you might mean, was the Doom Life one called Project X? I can't remember. Let me have a look. Or do you mean Project X Paris? I'm not sure. Not a massive fan of this. It just seems like a kind of streetwear brand. I'm not seeing anything like too crazy or interesting from this personally, if this is the brand that you are talking about. But yeah, I hadn't heard of them before. Ooh, that is a hot take there with Enfant Leve being over Acronym. That would definitely make some people mad for sure. Um, but it's a good point. Having the women stuff definitely helps differentiate them, and I thought it was very cool that they did that. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff to like about the brand, like being able to to get those custom sizes, to have things at cheaper prices, like being able to get dry skin pants for cheaper than the Acronym alternatives. Yeah, all good things about Enfant Leve. I do think there's a lot to like about the brand. And yeah, I've heard, lots of good things where, people have had problems with the product or whatever, and they've always been communicative and responsive, which is also good. Oh, right, Sean. Yeah, I know what you mean now. Yeah, so that Project X stuff, I believe, is from a website called Techwear Club. That will be the subject of a video next week, I think. But yeah, not a proper Techwear brand. So yeah, I would avoid that. And normally, when things have that Project X name, it's actually a different brand, and they just kind of rename it. So often when things are called Project X, it is either 11 by BB's Dark, they call it, which is like a knockoff version of 11 by BBS, and Cat Stack is the other one as well, and they kind of rebrand it as Project X. What would I consider to be my favorite shoe? Says Base and Dali. Good question. It kind of changes a lot. I think. Let me grab these. I think these at the moment, these are one of my favorites because I find these super easy to wear. These like fit my style really well. If you're wearing an all black outfit, chuck these on. You're going out walking, chuck these on. Walking around the town, chuck these on. They look really cool by themselves. Like hopefully the camera will focus a bit closer. But yeah, they got so many like fun details because of the gradient dip dye on these things. Yeah, they're more expensive than the regular Salomon shoes, but yeah, I think they are a great looking thing. And yeah, super easy to wear. So they are possibly one of my favorites for that reason. I also think what else can I say? I actually really like the A Cold Wall Vomero 5 as well. I don't wear them as much as I would like, but I think, yeah, as well, those are a super cool looking shoe. Yeah, you'd never see anything like it. I really like that they went out on a limb to make something that was just crazy different. The white ones are the ones that I've got. Things that I don't own though, things that I really like. I mean, there's loads. I see shoes all the time that I like the look of, but if I bought every shoe that I liked, I would. Yeah, I already have a problem with having too many shoes that I don't wear. So yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. You put me on the spot, and now my mind's gone blank. But there's loads of things. Um, in general, brands wise though, obviously Salomon at the moment, they've got a lot of cool stuff. Of the big sportswear brands, Nike is definitely my favorite. So yeah. What are some similar shoes to the Balenciaga Triple S? I don't know. I'm sure by this point, because they're so popular and they've been around for quite a few years, there will be like Zara and all those other brands will have done like knockoff versions. But there are loads of like real chunky brands. So like, you could even compare like the Nike Air Monarch to the Triple S in some way. They have that kind of chunky ID. Fila have loads of like super chunky things. Yeah, Fila was just mentioned in the chat actually. And you could say like things like those Sakai shoes as well, with the kind of stacked up sole at the back. They have something in common as well. Naga Pillow. Oh, check out Eigen Designer. Okay, let's have a look at these guys. Don't recognize this name, but we can definitely have a look. Let's have a look. Russian guy. Okay. I cannot read any of this stuff. Tell you what, let's go on the Instagram. We can have a look there. Hopefully there's some decent content that we can check out. Okay, yeah. Let me pull this up. When the Antwon is sus. Where is my little split screen? Here we go. Yeah, so what do we got here? Russian techwear brand, not particularly well known by the looks of things. Kind of, very military look here with the patch. You could stick some cool things on there. Seems like all of the comments are in Russian, everything is in Russian, so maybe this is a brand that hasn't really made it out of the country too much yet. But yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything that's kind of crazy or new in many ways. This is quite kind of par for the course type stuff, but I'm sure there are worse things out there. They seem kind of okay. Yeah, very like tactical military kind of aesthetics overall. Have we got any jackets or things like that? What's this one? That's kind of interesting with the reversed seams there. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I mean, there's some okay stuff by the looks of things. Yeah, 25k followers though, so clearly some people know about them. Volume too. Sorry about the volume being too low. There's not a massive amount I can do about that, really. So turn the speakers up, I guess. Base and Dali, who or what brought you into techwear? Yeah, people posting outfit pictures on Facebook groups and stuff was what got me into techwear. One of the big people, let me just think. Well, there are multiple. Yeah, so there's a guy called Jail. He was one of the kind of big people because back in like 2015, yeah, he was probably one of the like more well-known kind of techwear posters, and yeah, he had like a J1, he had some Shadow Project converts and stuff like that. So yeah, I remember seeing pictures of him and being like, damn, I want to dress like this guy. And yeah, so I took some early inspiration from him for sure. Yeah, with the jaw eel with the clenching, he's a man with a strong jaw, that's for sure. But yeah, like since then, like I've spoken to the guy quite a lot. Like we play Apex Legends and stuff together. So yeah, that's cool. It's nice that we got some genuine little friendship out of that. So yeah, from a mutual love of technical clothing. Yeah, I remember back when I first started talking to Jatil, we both used to play Dota as well. So we kind of bonded over that a little bit as well. So that was cool. So is there anything else that we can talk about? What have I not mentioned yet? Oh yeah, here's some stuff that we can talk about. Let me just pop this back to full screen real quick, and then we can load up If this is correct. Yeah, here we go. Right. Let me bring this back up. So, you might have heard of these guys before, Garuda. We have talked about them on the channel before. And the reviews, or maybe it was just one review actually. No, I think I've done a couple of videos about Garuda. But a very long time ago. And I think since then, they have really kind of stepped things up. They've got a much clearer kind of direction in the looks that they're going for, in the kind of products that they offer. And yeah, the stuff has really gone from strength to strength. And I've heard a lot of positive reviews from people that have bought this stuff, saying that it's really cool. And yeah, I think the website is a lot better now than it was before as well. So in pretty much every way, these guys have stepped up. I say these guys, it is basically one guy called Suhail. Yeah, Suhail Sarawat. Yeah, very complex designs. The guy clearly knows his tailoring. You know, he knows how to construct a good looking pen. So I have the earliest version of the Assassin, and they were custom made for me. So yeah, they fit a little bit differently to the regular versions, but they fit really well. And these are an updated version of that with a much more complex design. And yeah, made to measure is very much a thing you can do with this brand. So you can have these look and fit however you want, to the extent that like you can even kind of consult with Suhail a little bit and be like, look, I really like these pants, but I want them to fit a bit more like this, or I've got really long legs, so they need to be more like this, or whatever. And he can help you do that, right? He can help you kind of realize that product. And because he does know his stuff, you know, you could give him measurements, and if you gave him some like totally weird measurements, he would probably be like, these measurements look a bit strange. They might come out looking a bit like this. Is that cool? Are you okay with that? Rather than just like blindly making random stuff. So yeah, I think definitely some cool stuff. Good things to like about this brand. These pants are shoulder dry skin as well, so you will see that from Acronym, Antwon leather, things like that. You can see, I mean, from these pictures here, super feature-rich stuff. We got the phone pockets, we got the like double pocket here. So my version, it basically just has like a split inside the pocket, so there's like two layers to it. With these ones, what they've done is an easy access pocket, and then in front of that, you've got a buttoned pocket here. So you've got your area to keep things nice and safe and secure, and then you've got the easy access one behind that for when you need to just like whip something out real quick. And yeah, you can see it's got the knee articulation. It's got a little bit of stacking at the bottom there, but you of course could change that if you didn't want that. Yeah, and there's different materials and things that you could pick from. They've got, yeah, like cool jackets and stuff. This is, what is the Acronym jacket? J68, the more recent kind of rider jacket. This kind of an alternative to that. Very different looking, obviously, but some things in common. Yeah, lots of ways to wear it. Very cool pieces. Kind of fits into a similar category to like November Lab, I think. There's some crossovers with aesthetics. It's a smaller brand, not as well known, but definitely worthy of some attention for sure. Yeah, Rauch, saying, yeah, fan of his stuff from Garuda. So yeah, that's super cool, and I'm glad that you like this stuff so far. Yeah, as I say, like, I have only, when I hear people buying this stuff, I have only ever heard like, I bought this and I really like it. I think it's really good. So yeah, it's kind of unanimous positive reviews there. So yeah, good things, and lots to like. Yeah, so I'm seeing some discussion about Enfant Leve and stuff. Yeah, the founder guy is a little bit secretive. He doesn't really talk too much about the brand or anything like that. Very different to Acronym, for example, where Errolson is very much like a public figure. He did do an interview on Techwear magazine, I think. Techwear, the word Techwear with no vowels, only consonants. And yeah, kind of talked about some of his motivations and how he started the brand and things like that. That's like the main bit of information about him. Thoughts on kin supplies? Yeah, it could be an interesting one. I think the price obviously gives people a lot to like there, and people always have good things to say about Orbit Gear. They're very much one of those entry level techwear brands. If you're not too familiar with this space, then people tend to gravitate towards brands like that. You'll see them pop up a lot on the techwear clothing subreddit. Yeah, I think kin supplies have some decent looking stuff. Let's have a little look. Yeah, they don't actually have that many products. And yeah, similar to Orbit, they don't seem to make things in big quantities either. But yeah, we're looking at $120. It clearly fits the bill for the kind of thing that people are going to like out of this style. I don't know how good they actually are. They might have the same kinds of issues that you see with other kinds of this price point, where maybe breathability is not so great, or maybe the fit is a bit strange. It's an Indonesian brand, so maybe designed for much shorter people than myself, for example. Tion, no, this Garuda was before. This is a different brand called Kin Supplies, which is kind of an offshoot of Orbit Gear. Is there a place for skate shoes in techwear? Yeah, don't see why not. People like wearing Vans a lot. Like SB Dunk, stuff like that. I think they could work fine. Yeah, I think you can wear all kinds of shoes. All kinds of shoes with techwear. R221 versus 301. So that is a reference to someone released a video a couple of days ago, and it was a comparison between the Acronym 301 and the Orbit Gear R221, which are quite different brands in a lot of different ways. But the kind of conclusion was that, like, oh, the Orbit Gear bag is better than the Acronym one. And he used quite a lot of footage from my video, which he did ask for, which was very nice of him. So yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, it's always difficult with content like that, where if you don't necessarily have experience with one side versus the other, it obviously only gives you a limited ability to kind of talk about that stuff. It's always difficult to kind of put something out as comparative content when you've only got one side of the comparison, and maybe you don't have that much experience with the kind of space in general. So my kind of advice to that video that I gave to the guy was like, there's no reason why you can't. Like, first of all, if you want to make videos about stuff, 100% go for it. Like, if you've bought your very first techwear bag, whatever, I think you should be empowered to talk about that and to want to make content about it if you like it. And there's nothing wrong with like being super upfront about that view and kind of framing it around that being your own experience. Like, I think it would have been probably a more valuable video had it been approached with that idea of, I'm new to techwear, I have bought this techwear bag, how much do I like it? How do I feel about it? And kind of taken that approach. And I think that would have worked well. I'm hoping that the stream is still up, because on my screen I'm just getting like a loading thing there. Hopefully everything is fine, and it's just a problem my end. So I'm going to keep talking and hope that it's fine. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Luke saying they bought some Kin Supplies pants and they fit fine, so that's good to hear. Okay, Orbit Gear coming out with more summery stuff towards the end of June, so that is good. I feel like I missed a question a bit further up. But I can't remember where it was. There was something that it was in my mind when I was talking about something else. I was like, oh, I'll come back to that, and then I missed it. And now I cannot find it. So shout out to Tony. Thank you for your nice comment there. Yeah, I don't know the exact relationship between Kin Supplies and Orbit Gear. I don't know whether it is like literally the same people behind both brands, or whether they just have a kind of working relationship, or whether it's something in between. But yeah, there is some kind of link there. Feminine or plus size techwear influencers that I want to support. I find a lot of techwear style doesn't really fit my body type. Yeah, I mean, Slackjack Flack over on Instagram. Yeah, plus size stuff. He's got loads of stuff from Acronym and all kinds of different brands like that. Lots of different looks from him as well. Who else? Yeah, I've seen. I can't like think off the top of my head now, but yeah, there are definitely people that fall into, yeah, like all different body types to be honest. And I don't think there is a kind of prescriptive like you need to look a particular way to wear techwear. I definitely don't think that's the case. Like at the end of the day, the point of all this stuff is about mixing form and function and having like cool products that can work for you and are useful to you in some way and also look good. And that doesn't mean that like you have to be over a certain height or under a certain weight or a particular gender or anything like that. um, so yeah, I definitely don't kind of think that like, oh, when I go on Instagram I only see like a certain type of person. Because yeah, I don't think you need to have that kind of restriction. um, but with all brands, you will get some brands and some pieces are going to fit certain people better than others. So I have to be honest with myself, for example, that a lot of things don't fit me particularly well because I am taller than average. Like for example, I bought a pair of Acronym P31s, and I had to buy XL because of my height, and they ended up just being like kind of wide and baggier than they should have been on me. And I just have to admit they did not look that good on me. They don't work well with my body type. And I think that's definitely something to be conscious of. That different things are going to suit different people better. And there's nothing wrong with that. But having a good perception of what kinds of things am I likely to look good in, what kinds of things are maybe not going to be quite for me, that's all part of looking good and feeling confident and all of this kind of thing. And all that stuff is really important. That's all what we're trying to do at the end of the day. Yeah, everyone just wants to have fun wearing cool clothes and feel good about that. So yeah, I think absolutely everyone should be empowered to do that, and no one should be, telling people like, if you look like X, don't wear Y. Yeah, I definitely don't like that attitude. But yeah, things are going to look better on different kinds of people. And yeah, in terms of the plus size stuff, something that was mentioned already in the comments earlier was that Acronym are coming out with some wide things next season. Yeah, like a wide version of the J1A. So if you are kind of in that plus size area and you're kind of looking at the measurements of existing Acronym things or other brands and thinking like, oh, maybe this stuff isn't going to fit me that well, then yeah, keep an eye out for that wide stuff. And also made to order brands as well. Like Routes there just said, like made to order, good way to go. Because yeah, if you are an unusual build in, or in any kind of way, maybe you're really tall and thin, maybe you're, shorter than your average person, whatever. Made to order obviously really helps there. Yeah, thank you for some of the other positive comments around that side of things. But yeah, definitely look through. Yeah, Techwear clothing subreddit is a good one because yeah, I think there are all kinds of different body types and different kinds of people that post on there. Yeah, there's plenty of female representation. There is plenty of plus size stuff. There are tall people. There are short people. There are people in between. So yeah, like if you scroll down, look through the top things, you will, you know, you'll find something. You'll find something cool. But yeah, Josh, you are correct. Acronym is ridiculously expensive. There's no getting around that. And yeah, you will find other cool things from other brands. Yeah, you don't have to think that like Acronym is the gold standard. That's the best when it comes to techwear and this style, and everything else is kind of second best to that. No, definitely not. Different brands do different things better or worse than others. There are brands that do certain things better than Acronym and they do it at a cheaper price. So yeah, definitely don't come at things with like the tier list mindset. You can buy whatever you like at the end of the day. I don't feel tired, but thank you, NT. Yeah, I think I've just been when you talk constantly for 2 hours. I guess it takes a lot out of you. I'm not actually a particularly talkative person in real life either, so This is, yeah, a lot more talking than I would usually do. I'm doing a week's worth of talking in 2 hours. Thoughts on Valence FW 2021? I think I've seen too much of FW actually. Is it available anywhere? Let me see. Okay, so we got a little preview here. Oh yeah, maybe I have seen this stuff actually. Yeah, stay hydrated. That's why we keep the and Wander water bottle. Everything is on brand here, and I'm not looking at my right preview, so I can't see. Yeah, there you go. We got the and Wander water. White Shadow. What brand would be on par with Acronym in terms of quality? Yeah, good question. I mean, yeah, don't think that Acronym quality is perfect, first of all. I had a label fall out of one of my Acronym things not that long ago. The P30s have a flaw that quite a few people have noticed where the pocket just kind of rips open. There have been numerous other production issues and stuff in the past, so definitely not perfect, but there are loads of like high quality brands. All the Valence stuff that I've got I've been very happy with, and Arc'teryx stuff as well. What other things quality wise? What can I think? Some of the Stone Island things I've got have been really well constructed. Even like, so that North Face jacket back there, the 1990 GTX mountain jacket, even that, really well constructed jacket. What else has a reputation for quality? I know Patagonia has a reputation for having like real high quality stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of brands that certainly make high quality products. I think once you get to a certain tier, and when it is performance based gear, then the quality in general tends to be pretty good. Oh yeah, we've not even like looked at this stuff really. Yeah, so there's only a couple of bits here. When's this from? February. This is quite old, so there might be some more previews or something elsewhere. I like that they are mixing up the colors and like doing some different stuff here. I have no idea how popular the Seek tote is going to be in that crazy green color, but I certainly like some of these neutral tones that they're using here. Yeah, what are we seeing? I've got to admit, I'm not like a Valence expert, so I definitely can't like look at these and be like, oh yeah, this is like the new version of X or Y or Z. So yeah, I can definitely give some more valuable interpretations on this stuff when I see the full collection with all the product names and a bit more info about them for sure. But yeah, I know they're doing women's stuff as well for the next season, so that is a good thing for sure, and I'm looking forward to seeing that stuff. SNK 80K Design Lab. Not heard of them, but that sounds cool. So thank you for the recommendation. Do I have recommendations for kids clothing, kids Techwear stuff? Yeah, I mean the hiking stuff is probably all you'll find. I can't really think of any brands that are more fashion orientated that do kids things. So yeah, probably the oh yeah, Sneak Attack. Yeah, Snake Attack. Yeah, probably those kinds of hiking brands are going to be your best bet there, I think. Unfortunately. Kinsply is a branch of Orbit Gear because on the pants it said it's designed and manufactured at Orbit Gear. So yeah, there you go. There is a relationship. Snack Attack. How many different SNKs are there? Snoke Attack. Star Wars collab. Maybe. How do I feel about Machine 56 and how poor people need not apply to us rich Machine 56 folk? Yeah, Machine 56 is an interesting one. They, firstly, their newer stuff is a lot nicer than their older stuff. I think they have some of their older things look a bit dodgy to me. The newer things I think definitely look better. Yeah, it's much more like cyberpunk dystopian clothing that it is like technical performance wear. Kind of fits into a slightly different category for me, but you know, aesthetically, they're in their lane and they are doing exactly what they set out to do. It's just not really performance gear, I feel like. Yeah, Meek Toner, I tested their raincoats and they are not waterproof at all. Yeah, very, very LARPy, that's for sure. It's very edgy. It's probably too over the top for a lot of people. It's not really my style, I'll be honest. But I certainly wouldn't say, like, you don't have to discount anything that puts aesthetics before performance. It's just a case of I don't particularly like the aesthetic. I do like the helmets, though, that they do. Those are incredible. Um, so yeah, they could definitely fit into a cool look. Cap says, I like the Machine 56 straps. Like, you can buy a bag of straps with clips on them. I use them for my keys all the time. Yeah, there's quite a few brands that do key-based accessories and things like that. And yeah, I don't see anything wrong with having straps on things, personally. So yeah. Still in the dream. Techwear is complex and versatile and sometimes hype. Buy used, like folks in an aquarium, like it a year or two, then sell half price. Yeah, Techwear and the secondhand market is a good one for sure. Um, and yeah, if you don't want to pay full price for things, definitely look secondhand 100% because there's quite a good community and there's a lot of people that are willing to get rid of their older things because they want to rotate stuff around and things like that. So there are deals to be had for sure. Look on places like Grailed or John Flip, places like that. Facebook Marketplace as well. There are some dedicated techwear groups. Sort low to high, yeah, for sure. And yeah, you will probably find things that you like. But yeah, it's a complex world, for sure. And yeah, techwear is definitely not all black. I mean, um, let me go back to full screen, but like even looking in the back, like plenty of non-black jackets in there. Plenty of cool non-black pants, and I think with the introduction of more Gorpcore stuff and people getting more involved in that kind of style, color is going to come in here a lot more, and there's going to be a lot more crossover between urban utility and nature outdoor utility. I think like more of a fusion of that, and it's going to be a lot more acceptable to be wearing urban gear with color and performance gear that is more colorful. And I don't think it's just going to be associated with people going bird watching or whatever anymore. Yeah, it's going to be more associated with fashion, and that's no bad thing because I think it's a pretty cool style. Can't imagine me in a tuxedo. Yeah, I don't own a tuxedo. I wore one maybe probably 10 years ago when I left school. That was probably the last time. But I am going to a wedding next month, so I will be wearing a three-piece suit for that. So who knows, maybe I'll take a picture and it'll be a very different breed of Antwon. Um, yeah, it's almost unfortunate in that because I am kind of tall and relatively slim, I don't think I look bad in tailored clothing. It's just not really my style. I don't really like the idea of walking around dressed really smart all the time. I like the casual stuff, and of course we like the technical stuff. Yeah, buy a Valent suit. I mean, I've got the Indies blazer and I've got the Voronoi pants, which together, you know, they're not quite a suit, but they definitely have a very smart look about them. So I should wear that to the wedding, really, but no, I've got a different one. What would I call the style of Demo Baza? Kind of costumey. Nah, it's not really techwear, is it? Because it's not really performance. There's no real performance there. It is far too. It's like a dystopian, grungy, uh, dark wear kind of style. It's definitely different to your average techwear stuff. I know it has its own kind of community of very dedicated fans, though. Thoughts on Effort Long? That's a copy pasta that I've not read in a very long time. That was a post that someone made, possibly in the Techwear subreddit, like 3 years ago, kind of saying that, like, you know, Techwear has had its day and now it's dead and all of this kind of thing. And people clowned it quite a lot at the time, and people continue to clown it. But yeah, I don't think Techwear is dead or anything by any stretch of the imagination. I think things just change every year, right? And yeah, now like Gorp Core, Hiker Core, all of this is getting more popular, appealing to kind of streetwear fans appealing to techwear fans. So techwear just kind of moving more in that direction. It's retaining its popularity. There are still people who are very happy to dress in that classic urban utility kind of style as well, and I will happily wear that stuff all the time. And Acronym obviously still has as strong a fan base as ever. Same with all the other kind of major brands like Valence and all this stuff. Noisy. Yeah, I semi-answered that. A more avant-garde leather jacket could go with certain techwear brands. Yeah, definitely. I don't see why not. And yeah, I could definitely see like a Julius leather jacket being worn with wider acronym pants, for example. So yeah, 100%. I just think it's just something that we've not seen very much so far, and people kind of assume that if there's not much visibility on it, that there's a reason that people aren't doing it, and I don't think that's always the case. I think often people just kind of pick a lane in one direction or the other. Like you don't really see people wearing Rick Owens with techwear a lot, but I think aesthetically those things could work together really well. But it's just people either tend to like techwear and they, if they get really invested, they buy Acronym or whatever, or they really like Rick Owens and they buy Rick Owens and they don't experiment with the more technical stuff. And not many people kind of putting both of those things together. But I don't think there's any inherent reason why not. Luke Warner, yeah, a lot of black things appear more grey than black when you get them in person. Is that common? Yeah, it's kind of a difficult one. Things come in all kinds of different colours, so it's kind of hard to see, but the jacket that's on the end there is the J44 SD. That is supposed to be black. It has a little bit of blue in it, a tiny little bit. The Nike Lab ACG Alpine is quite black. The cargo pants that came out in that season were blue, although they were called black. Gore-Tex Packlight has a bit of blueness to it, I think, from memory. So it's kind of a difficult one. I guess my best advice would be try and look at as many different product pictures if you can from different websites and different retailers, and that might help you get a sense of how black things actually are. But in general, like when it comes to Gore-Tex and breathable fabrics and stuff, when things say they're black, they're not too far away from that. So it's not like you can wear black Gore-Tex jacket and some black pants and they look awful together. I don't think it ever goes that far away. Gore-Tex underwear. Not sure about that. No liquids getting in. Yeah, Techwear blew up since getting into it in 2017, says Fatty Black. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of gone up and down. It's definitely had its big points where people have got like really hyped on it. It's kind of come down a little bit, but I don't necessarily think that yeah, it's going anywhere. I think a lot of people know about Techwear now for sure, and things like the Death Stranding collab do that. Wish the zip was black on the J44. I don't know. I quite like the contrast personally, and I like how it goes all the way kind of around the neck. And yeah, I think having that standout detail is quite nice, because on a lot of the Acronym products they use black zip, so it just kind of makes them stand out a little bit. Yeah, Airism boxes, they are very good. I've got a couple of pairs of merino boxes. Both of those are very nice as well. One from Icebreaker, one from EDZ, I think, or EZD, something like that. But yeah, those are also good. Yeah, Acronym Prestos definitely had their part to play in making people more hyped on Techwear. So they were those shoes back there, well, the older versions. I think it was either Complex or Hypebeast. They called them like the best shoe of 2016 or something, and that that really sparked a lot more interest in Acronym and this style in general. Do I like the Visvim Cristo? Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. They are crazy expensive though, so I probably wouldn't buy a pair personally. Because yeah, I think Sweecoke, they do something very similar. They're also very well known for being like pretty good things and a lot cheaper. So I would maybe go for them first. But yeah, I think the Cristos are a very cool shoe. Yeah, Izzy Miyake is another good one. And yeah, Miyamoto BT4D I do remember his fits, and yeah, he definitely used to mix the technical stuff with the more avant-garde pieces. And he had some really interesting things back in the day as well. I remember people would look to him as a kind of like, here's what you can do with Techwear. You don't just have to do the same things as everyone else. And yeah, always happy to see people taking things and doing new stuff with them. Yeah, OG acronym Prestos, high tier for sure, for sure. Rain deflectors on the Outback, is it a Techwear car? Of course, and cars have water resistant paint, so that's Techwear right there. All cars are Techwear. What's a piece that I regret getting? That's a good question. There's definitely things that I've spent a lot of money on and then not worn very much, but I wouldn't necessarily say I massively regret them. Like I mentioned this in a video a couple of weeks ago, but there's the Y3 poncho that's back there. That cost like $800 or something, like a crazy amount of money. I very rarely wear it, but I don't massively regret it either because I just think it's really cool looking. Which is maybe not the best answer, but yeah, there you go. I think a lot of the things that I really majorly regret I have sold. I'm just trying to think of something awful. I definitely regret doing those Maharishi Nike IDs because they turned out really badly. Yeah, that was definitely one that I regret. And there's been other shoes as well that I've bought and then just never really worn and don't really like that much. Nothing down there really. Yeah. Thoughts on shopping at cycling and mountaineering retailers? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, mountaineering brands. Cycling brands I've not really looked too much into, but they're probably similar in that, yeah, performance stuff, they're getting more of a fashion direction, I think. So yeah, look, you can look anywhere for fashion inspiration and yeah, like wearing things in different contexts. Just because something is not necessarily a fashion brand doesn't mean it can't be incorporated or perceived through a fashion lens. Like I've seen people wear like really expensive clothing and then they've got like, I don't know, like, well, example here, Uniqlo t-shirt, like £10, Rick Owens shorts on the bottom. It doesn't have to be like some crazy expensive fashion brand or whatever to kind of, for people to like them or wear them or enjoy them or whatever. And yeah, that goes for all kinds of things. Like I've worn, hats that I bought on Amazon for £5, and in a fashion context, they can still look good. Where did I get my Nemen piece? It was called Acrobic. I can't remember how you spell it. Let me type it real quick. I need to make sure that I get it right. Yeah, this is it. I will paste it in the chat so you know. Yeah, there you go. Yeet beat me to it. Yeah, Acrobic, good retailer. They're German, I think. Yeah, German. And they do some good sales occasionally. They carry some cool brands as well. NT, tell us about future style thoughts. Yeah, good question. I mean, something that I mentioned in last week's video was about more Rick Owens stuff, because I like these shorts that I've got so far. I have a pair of Rick Owens shoes as well. I would like to incorporate stuff like that more into my style. I also think, there is a trend towards the hiker stuff, the Gorpcore things. I would like to incorporate that more as well. And really, yeah, take that kind of hybrid approach between things that maybe feel quite separate. And yeah, I think there's a lot that can be done there. I think there are things that look like Techwear products that can be worn alongside more traditional hiking brands. I think there are hiking things that can be recontextualized in fashion contexts. And there are so many brands, loads of like undiscovered ones. So if we go back to this thing of ours, for example, that we talked about earlier, Manchester retailer, covering loads of different brands. So if we literally look through what's new, can I do this? Is there a whole page? Yeah. You look at what's new. Like there are so many brands on this website that you probably won't have heard of before, and they're all along this kind of Gorpcore, hikercore kind of line. Like Fujito, for example. Never really heard of them. Comfy Outdoor Garment, we talked about them a month or two ago. They've got some great things. These bags look really cool. They sold out quite quickly. Yeah, they've got these fisherman's hats. Still by Hand is another good one with some cool like outdoor gear kind of basics. And all of these guys, they are taking typically kind of outdoor hiker pieces, but making them more fashionable in nature. Snow Peak as well, you will have heard of Snow Peak before, obviously, but it gives you an idea of the kinds of things that they stock on this website and the kind of brands that we're talking about here. Speaking of Snow Peak, actually, there is a sample sale in London next week. I need to find out some more details about where exactly it is. But I could be interested in going to that for sure. And it sounds quite interesting. Because, yeah, Snow Peak is a cool brand, but I've never really bought anything from them. But I think we're looking at like 70% off or something. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Thomas has actually been to the physical store. Yeah, I've seen a couple of pictures of it and it looks really nice. I'll also say on their Instagram, they have some really good photography as well. They do a really good job of styling this stuff and making it look really good. So yeah, like, I mean, take a look at some of these pictures, for example. Like, or every time I see one of these pictures, I'm like, damn, I want this outfit. Like, oh, I want some of this cool stuff. Um, yeah, like it just looks so effortless. It looks so relaxed, so comfortable. They're using all kinds of different brands. Like, yeah, just look at all this stuff. Like, I really like all of it, honestly. It's quite different to what I would normally wear, but yeah, it's great stuff. Try going on a full Rick Owens outfit. Yeah, I mean, I would love to, honestly, for sure. Yeah, definitely, definitely appreciate having too many pockets. That's for sure. I have put things in the wrong pocket and misplaced them all the time. Folk, yep, cool brand. Um, I have some Folk socks that I bought like 3 or 4 years ago, and they had this really like strong kind of waffle texture, and they looked really nice. So yeah, positive experience with the like yeah £10 socks or whatever. So and yeah, they do have some nice stuff. Have I heard of Columbia Out Dry? They put the waterproof membrane on the outside of the jacket, like Gore-Tex Shake Dry, but it's durable to wear with a backpack. That's cool. That's interesting. Um, yeah, so Columbia, fairly well-known brand, sportswear, ski type stuff. But yeah, that's interesting that they've come up with their own version of Shake Dry. Yeah, Rick Owens have a lot of good hoodies as well, and yeah, they've got loads of things that can make for great basics, like just things to chuck on every day and not really think too much about it. But then they've at the same time got the real nice avant-garde stuff too, that really does like go crazy and is super directional. Like they've got very well known, the GIMP hoodies, the mountain hoodies, stuff like that. That are very distinctive, very Rick Owens, but also you just wear them undone, just looks like a regular hoodie. So yeah, very easy to style. That would probably be, if I was going to pick anything by Rick Owens to kind of buy next, it would probably be that. Not because I think that the hoodie is like, wow, the craziest, most Rick Owens piece or whatever, or the way that I can best get involved with Rick Owens, but just because I often find myself wearing a plain black hoodie in the house, so it'd be great to have a Rick Owens one that looks a bit more interesting than a like Gildan one. I genuinely wear a Gildan hoodie like all the time in the house. Out of all this stuff that I've got over so many years, I wear a like £5 hoodie all the time. Thanks, Kai, for the Goemon recommendation. And Lack from Hong Kong. Cool. Not heard of either of those, so I will definitely check those out. So thanks for the recommendations. Yeah, there are so many different brands out there from all different countries, and for whatever reason, yeah, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, those kinds of areas at the moment seem to be doing really well at this kind of gorpcore stuff, this recontextualizing, hiking looking pieces in a more fashion area. So like comfy outdoor garments, this hoodie, Japanese brand, absolutely love that stuff. Yeah, would love to pick some of that up. Yeah, definitely good areas to look at for sure. Um, yeah, Ben, that's a very good point. I think there's definitely like a level that you want to go to, I suppose. Where yeah, you don't want to buy anything that's like super basic and super boring, but then at the same time, if you go too hard and your like first Rick Owens item is yeah some like crazy over the top piece, you might end up not wearing it or being a bit too like intimidated to wear something that's like super different to the rest of what you own. So you want to kind of, I don't know, get in there at the right kind of point. Opinion on Hamkus. I like Hamkus a lot. I was wearing some Hamkus shorts today. And yeah, would love to cover them more on the channel for sure. There is a video from, it's probably exactly a year ago, maybe just over a year ago, where I look at a few different Hamkus pieces. So if you've not seen that, then definitely check that out. But yeah, I think they're a cool brand, and I like their stuff, and I think they present lots of original ideas, and they're doing some cool things in different ways. And the clothing is very interesting as well. Like when you actually get like the Manta Parka that I've got, when you actually look at it like up close, there is so much on it to kind of investigate and look at and mess around with. But yeah, it's just really fun stuff to own, and it definitely has some value for that reason. Cool. I can like feel myself losing my breath, so I will. I'll kind of like wrap things up. But the bottom comment, the most recent one, have I heard of Idol Ido? I don't know how to pronounce them correctly, but yeah, I have heard of that brand. I couldn't tell you too much about them though. But yeah, they're. In fact, let's look them up. Let's look them up. And this can be like one of the last things we look at. Aoku, yeah. How do I find Hamkus different to Demo Baza? Yeah, that is a good question. I think Hamkus is probably like if you were going to put it on a scale of like crazy dystopian over the topness, Demo Baza would be like 11 and Hamkus would be like a 7. So it's I think they're kind of more wearable by nature, some of the Hamkus things, and I think there are more pieces that could be integrated with kind of regular clothes, whereas I feel like Demo Baza is so far in that costume direction, or so far in that, yeah, crazy dystopian stuff, that you would just really struggle to wear it in like a normal context, whereas I think Hamkus stuff can definitely be toned down more. But you know, the two could work together for sure. I think you could wear Demo Baza and Hamkus. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they just kind of feel different to me. Demo Baza, yeah, feels more kind of costumey, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not trying to like pass judgment on the brand, but for that reason. Yeah, so these guys are very like technical streetwear kind of thing. A lot of graphic prints. You know, definitely seeing the. Oh, okay. Demo bars are based in the Psytrance scene, so yeah, that makes sense. There's that connection to Burning Man and stuff. Yeah, this brand seems kind of interesting. They look a little bit like a kind of Nilmans type stuff. Some of this stuff reminds me of. I feel like based on the length of some of these things, maybe too short for me. But hey, look, like pair of cargos, $115. If you like the look of them, you know, that's not a bad price. Stretchy, which is good as well. 4% spandex in there. Yeah, let's look at the length of pants. Okay, so these might actually fit me. You know, they could be long enough. But yeah, I mean, they look decent enough. I've not heard too many people talk about them though. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Nathan talking to one of the guys that runs the brand. Interesting. Yeah, cool. I'd be interested in seeing some more from them for sure, because yeah, I don't feel like I've seen too many outfits or anything with them. Cool. Yeah, I will pretty much call it there. So yeah, NT, thank you very much for your nice comment, and yeah, appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much to everyone for tuning in. It is much appreciated. And yeah, like really cool to see so many of you that kind of popped by, because I know like E3 on at the moment. There's like all this other stuff going on. But yeah, you took the time to come and hang out here on the channel. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, let me know what you thought of the stream in general. If you want to see more of this kind of thing, then definitely let me know. And yeah, what else can I say? Any kind of thoughts, recommendations, anything like that, definitely add them. And I will look through them all for sure, because yeah, at the end of the day, like I want to do stuff that you guys are interested in and you think is cool. So yeah, if there are other things that you would like me to focus on in a live context, then yeah, just let me know. But yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks Aiden, thanks Ben, thanks Base Sendali. Yeah, silent stream more often. Thank you for that. Yeah, I would like to do it more often for sure. It's cool being able to chat directly with you guys. Um, yeah, clueless. Vital should do more live streams. Yeet. Yeah, thank you, Silent. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, thanks everyone. And yeah, we will see you next week with a non-live video. But that should be a good one. So yeah, I'll catch you next week for that one.